Hello, we shall be discussing on the kingdom fungi. Fungi is a unique heterotrophic organisms showing a great diversity in both morphology and habitat. They offer a variety of uses ranging from industrial, agriculture, food processing to antibiotics productions. Fungus like yeast are used in the industrial fermentation of alcoholic beverages and in the food productions like conversion of milk into curd. So some fungus like penicillium help in the production of antibiotics such as penicillin, and some other fungus are also eatable. That is, they form a common mushroom. This example is agaricus. However, some are poisonous and they can cause death if they are being consumed. The body of the fungus consists of a long thread-like structure called as the hyphae. This hyphae, that is the body of the fungus, form a network structure called as the mycelium, and this network structure of hyphae, that is mycelium, may be septate or aseptate. Septate means the mycelium having closed wall in the fungal body, and aseptate means the mycelium without the closed wall. So mycelium can be septate and aseptate. Some hyphae contain only one nucleus. However, the other may contain many nucleus, that is multinucleate. So the hyphae with multinucleate cytoplasms in the body is called as the cynocytic hyphae. That means one hyphae is containing many nucleus. So the cell wall of this fungus are also made up of chitins and polysaccharides. Most of the fungus are heterotrophic in nature, and they absorb their nutritional requirements from the dead organic matters. So such fungus which derive the nutrients from the dead organic matters are called as saprophytes or saprophytic fungus. Some other fungus depends on or live inside the body of other living organisms, and they derive the nutrients from that living body, as well as they even cause disease to that particular living body. So such fungus are called as parasitic fungus. Fungus can also be seen in association with the body of other living organisms. So they form a symbiotic association. Symbiotic here refers to the association where both the partners, that means where both the two associating partners are well benefited from each other. So let's discuss on two association. The first one is lichens. Lichens is a symbiotic association between the fungus and the algae, and in this association is used, that is lichen is used as the indicators of pollution. The second association is mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is also a symbiotic association between the fungus and the root of the higher plant. In this association, the fungus help in the absorbing nutrients from the soil for the plants by increasing the surface area of absorption, and the plant provides protection and other necessary requirements for growth and development of fungus. Now let's discuss on the reproduction in kingdom fungi. Reproduction occurs by vegetative methods, asexual method, and sexual methods. So in vegetative methods, following three methods are observed. The first one is fragmentation. Fragmentation in fungus is an accidental process by which the fungal body, that is the hyphae, breaks into two or more pieces, and each of these pieces can grow or develop into complete fungus again. Some of the fungus that shows this fragmentation are rhizopus. And the second vegetative method is the fission. In this fission, the fungal cell divides into two or more cells that is exactly or identical to the parent body. The third is budding. In budding, small individual buds arises on the body of the parent, and this bud, after developing or reaching its maturity, gets detached from the parent body and can grow or develop into new fungal body again. So the fungus that shows budding as the vegetative method of reproduction is the yeast. Now let's discuss on the asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by formation of different types of spores like conidia, sporangiospores, etc. Now under favorable conditions, the asexual spores can grow and germinate into complete fungal body again. Now the second type of reproduction is the asexual. The third type of reproduction is the sexual method of reproduction. Sexual method of reproduction involves the fusions of the gametes, and these occur in three stages. The first one is plasmogamy. Once the gametes are fused, there is a mixins, or there is a fusions of the protoplasm of the two fusing gametes. So this fusion of the protoplasm of the two gametes are called as the plasmogamy. And once the protoplasm of the cell of the gametes are fused, even their nucleus also fused. So the fusion of the nucleus is called as the karyogamy. And once the two gametes fuse, it results in the formation of zygote. So once this zygote is formed, this zygote undergoes a division called as the meiosis division, and this meiosis division results in increased number of cells. And so this is how haploid spores are formed in the fungus. When a fungus reproduces sexually, two haploid hyphae of compatible mating types come together and fused. In some of the fungus like Ascomycetes and Phycomycetes, the dikaryotic stage are observed. Now dikaryotic means di means two, karyo means here refer to nucleus. So two nucleus are observed. So two nucleus are found in one single cell. So those stages are called as the dikaryotic stages, and such a conditions is called as the such a condition is called as dikaryon, and the phase is called as the dikaryophase of the fungus. Now let's discuss on the classes of the fungus. The first class is the Phycomycetes. The members of the Phycomycetes are found in aquatic habitats and on decaying wood in moist and damp places, or as obligate parasites on the plant bodies. The mycelium in these classes of fungus is aseptate. Aseptate means without a cross wall on the hyphae. So the mycelium is aseptate and cynocytic. Cynocytic means the hyphae is containing many nucleus. So it is cynocytic and aseptate, and reproduction takes place by reproduction takes place by both sexual and asexual mode. So in sexual mode, there is a formation of sexual spores such as zoospores and aplanospores. So zoospores are motile spores, whereas the aplanospores are non-motile spores. So these are the spores through which asexual reproduction takes place in the class of fungus Phycomycetes. And sexual mode of reproduction takes place by formation of zygospores. Zygospores are formed by the fusion of two gametes, and these gametes are similar in morphology. These gametes can be similar in morphology or dissimilar. So those gametes which are similar in morphology are called as isogametes, and those gametes with different morphology or dissimilar morphology are called as the oogamous or anisogamy. So some of the examples, some of the fungus which belong to this Phycomycetes are Rhizopus, Albugo, and Rhizopus and the Albugo. So Rhizopus is the common bread mold. Now let's discuss on the second class of fungus, that is Ascomycetes. Ascomycetes is commonly known as the sec fungus. They are mostly multicellular, but unicellular can also occur. The multicellular example is the penicillium, and the penicillium, and the unicellular is the yeast or yeast. The scientific name of yeast is the Saccharomyces. Now they can be saprophytic, decomposers, parasitic, or coprophilous. Saprophytic means they are depending on the dead organic matter for their food or for deriving the nutrients. Decomposers means they are breaking down the complex organic matter and release them into environment. So they can also be parasitic. Parasitic means they are living on the body of other organisms, deriving the nutrients at the same time, causing disease to the body in which they live. And coprophilous. Coprophilous are those fungus which are living or growing on the dung of the it may be a cow dung and buffalo dung, or in the feces of other animals. The mycelium in this fungus is branch and septate. Septate means they contain many cross-walled, and as reproduction takes place by both sexual and asexual means. Asexual reproduction takes place by formation of spores such as conidia, which are produced exogenously. Exogenously means producing outside the body of the fungus. So exogenously produced on the special mycelium called as the conidiophore. And sexual spores. Sexually, they reproduce by a spore called as the ascospores, which are produced endogenously, means inside. So the spores, ascospores, there is sexual spores. There is ascospores are produced endogenously in a sac-like structure called as the ascus, and these ascus are developed in the fruiting bodies called as the ascospore. So some of the example of the fungus that is belonging to this class of Ascomycetes is the Aspergillus claviceps neurospora.